Hey guys, Mike Martins here with the Mike Martins channel from downtown British Columbia, Canada, and I have a very important message for Tucker Carlson. Now, it's very important that you share this video and get this out there because I feel as a Canadian living in Canada, paying taxes in Canada, and having to take a cut in pay in my private sector job to just maintain or try to move ahead. Anyways, we'll get to what I'm trying to say here and we'll break it down. So, Tucker, if you're watching this and this got to you, thanks for watching. My name is Mike Martins and I've been on social media for many years now. Many years. So, we're not going to get into that. You don't know me because we are being heavily suppressed here in Canada. And go ahead, Canadians or people watching this in Canada, comment below and say how I never even knew this guy existed till today. Well, anyways, here it is. We made a video called Mayors Can't Afford Their Own Cities. Canadian Real Estate Market Rises $42,000 a month, the whole 9 yards. So we broke this down. We broke down this article. And then someone made a comment here. Tucker Carlson. So it says right here, Tucker Carlson coming out with the documentary Oh Canada. He's calling to liberate Canada. He said they spend more money on Ukraine trying to liberate them from Russia. Why can't we send troops to liberate Canada from the dictatorship like Trudeau? I wasn't sure what to think. It would be like Canadian war on Canadian soil. What would you think? A lot of the old stock or Canadians won't put up a fight with the U.S. They would just take on a takeover. Now, I've been saying on this channel for the longest time now, multiple times, oh, how I long an American takeover here. Oh, how I long an American takeover. And I referenced, I feel like Davy Crockett at the Alamo waiting for reinforcements for the Union to show up and give us the support we need so we can win this war. And that's how I feel here. Like, just long-winded, waiting, getting old. And now that I have kids, a few kids, the whole picture changes and I need some sort of stability for them. Because what are they going to do when they finish high school? Apply for welfare and go on housing? Like, what happens then? Like, or something? Because they can't even afford, right out of the gate, to go anywhere outside of high school. So let's take a look at this situation on what's going on and how it came about to where we are today. So thank you for that comment. And we've been longing, see? Let's compare North Korea to Canada. Canada in full force communism. America take us over now. Compared American versus Canadian housing prices. Price increase. America take us over, please. So this is, look at this. What 2.5 million Canadian buys you. And versus 1 million American. So we've been really under, yeah. So Canada, real estate bubble means mayors can't afford their own cities. We cover that. Goodbye. Canada would be in a recession without money laundering. So hundreds of billions of dollars in money laundering has actually kept our economy going. So our economy is completely fake. None of it's real. It's been built off of money laundering. Where did the money laundering come from? How Chinese gangs laundered their money through drug money through Vancouver real estate. So this video here coming from the mainstream media right here in Canada is actually showing you how the drugs are processed, how they're fabricated in factories, and then how they make their way out and get dumped. Then the profits get dumped in Canadian real estate and basically take over our youth. Now, what has the fentanyl and all the drugs? This is reporting from 2018. This has been happening since the 2010 Olympics when Canada opened its country up to money laundering. And we've been covering it. Canada is dying. Fentanyl overdose problem, homelessness, and camps have increased in Vancouver 5 years ago. Vancouver is dying. CPP. Fentanyl is killing our youth. Very serious issues on our street 2 years ago. Vancouver is dying. Aboriginals and whites leaving Vancouver as we sell off to Chinese investors. So 5 years ago. So we've been very vocal about this. And what has happened? Well, Vancouver going to implement a foreign buyer's tax. And what did that do? That destroyed Seattle because foreign investors were flocking at a frantic pace to Seattle to buy out and destroy what. So here goes. So it starts right here. Chinese housing wave tsunami has hit Toronto and Seattle as Vancouver implements foreign buyers tax 6 years ago. Chinese to take over Seattle housing market. Amerifornia is coming. Vancouver foreign buyers tax. Amerifornia is America turning entirely into California 5 years ago. And then Seattle housing crisis. Seattle disappearing middle class. Can't keep up with money laundering from China. Wagons east 3 years ago. Again, after Vancouver imposed a foreign buyers tax to combat money laundering, Chinese investors are now fleeing to Seattle and Toronto to destroy the middle class markets. There it is right there. Let's move along. And our elections. Oh, our elections here. So, yes, I know it's not perfect. I know what's going on in the U.S. You guys know if you've been watching me, but take a look at this. So, the Liberal government will call a snap election and win. It's all fixed, rigged elections worldwide. Now, I called the snap election 11 months before they called the snap election. And what happened after the snap election? Well, Trudeau won. And look what happened right after. Right after the snap election. Almost 100,000 ballots now counted in federal election. And then the Toronto Sun, Elections Canada, 205,000 mail-in ballots now counted. And then CTV, federal election, 100,000. They can't even get their story straight. More than 200,000 special ballots not returned. So there it is. It's a lot of election meddling and fixing here, obviously. Help from the CPP and making sure that the right person gets in as Canada sells out its gold mines, lithium ion mines. We sold our biggest coal mine in BC to China, and they have their own ports in Canada. And I've been warning you guys in America that Canada is your national security threat. And we've said it in multiple videos. I found this video here. America, this is a national security threat. Chinese government is picking Canada apart. China by 2025, and that was 5 years ago. And we've been warning you people about this, that America, your biggest security threat is Canada, not Iran, not all these other countries. It's Canada. So what you need to know about decriminalization of possessing illicit drugs in BC. So they legalized hard drugs. They're trying to pull the Portugal move, where drugs are a sickness, not a crime, but they don't have nothing in place or infrastructure in place for Canadians that are trying to get off drugs. So they're actually legalizing it all here, or it's been decriminalized. Let me correct my wording here. And now the public sectors and public servants are beginning a strike. If mayors can't live in their own cities, more than 155,000 federal public servants are on strike after the federal government and the Public Service Alliance, blah, blah, blah. So more public servants, that a majority of them are protesting for more money because or to live in their own cities that they built in the first place. So a lot of the European expansion that came to Canada in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, like when my parents and my family came here from Portugal, we built. My dad worked on the Air Canada Centre. My dad worked on the Sky Dome, not cleaning the Sky Dome. They wouldn't give him. They would never give my dad a cleaning job with a union in a permanent position. He was working hard in construction, building those structures, and I can't get a job there. They won't hire me there. So you see how it works. Build all these buildings and then kick the people out with the mass deportation of Portuguese in 2007 and 2008 in Canada. You have to go to ChatGPT to check that out because it's actually a very big one. Anyways, I'm not going to get into that right now. So public servants. A message to Canadian public servants that come in here and tell me how I should be running my private sector business and what I should be doing to get more customers. You work for the government. That's great. You get raises. That's great. What about us in the private sector? I didn't pay myself for 18 months. 18 months. I couldn't afford to pay myself out of the store because of what's happened. And you guys, it doesn't matter. I know where it's going, and I know where things are going to be headed in the next couple of years anyway. So let's keep going here. So, economy too dependent on public sector jobs. Nearly 9 out of 10 jobs created in Canada in 2021 were public servants. So there it is right there. And it's just something we've been talking about and been very vocal, private versus public sector. We've been very vocal about here. And hospital closures in my own town, solutions for hospital closures. The nearest hospital from us is about 60 miles. So I don't know what to do from there. I don't know how to make sense of it, but that's just something that's going down. And I want to, kind of sense of what's happening here in Canada. We sold out to the highest bidder via real estate, and that's why our GDP, that's why our debt loads, people taking on second mortgages, people being heavily over leveraged and using their homes to eat, using their homes as ATM machines to eat. And it's been an absolute disaster here in Canada. And the people that bought into the housing market 6, 7, 8 years ago, heck, if you bought in last month at the right time, your house went up, what, 40 something thousand dollars. If you bought in the right place at the right time, you could use that for a good 2-3 years to buy food. And that's where we're headed here. Canada, oh, how I long for an American takeover here. The European expansion is pretty much dead here in Canada. Since Canada closed immigration from Europeans in 1993, and then the people were shown the door in 2007, and I was very vocal about that on the channel with the mass deportation of Portuguese families in 2007. Because our mainstream media is bought and paid for, that's another thing here in Canada, our mainstream media is bought and paid for. I've been longing and asking for, hey, why don't you guys put down on our media, when you go on social media, that's Canadian, that this is government paid and funded for. And it happened. And we made a video with us saying that a year ago, where, come on, man, start putting down on the social media that Canadian media is bought and paid for. And it is. But you have to go to ChatGPT and you'll find things that you may think that happen, or I'm talking about that happen. ChatGPT will cough everything up, and that's why they're going to start banning that and working towards banning that, because now you can start bringing up or uncovering certain things that they don't want us to know here, or people to know around the world, on how Canada is supposed to be the best perfect countries. But unfortunately, it's broken. It's broken, and I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. I want to know how you guys feel in the comments below. I feel very betrayed. I feel, and when my kids graduate from high school, what are they going to do? Like, how they can't even afford, they can't, you know what I'm saying? Don't make me pull up American pricing there and show you guys the comparison of housing and living maintain a basic lifestyle. Anyways, I'm rambling here. Anyways, I hope Tucker Carlson gets this message. Oh, how I long for an American takeover. It's been something that I've been very vocal about, and I really hope he does something about that to start waking up the masses and waking the people up. Mike Martins here. I have spoken.